Happiness through curiosity on the Ranveer Show. I'm genuinely not trying to make this an egoistic conversation and talk about just me here, but it's one of the easiest ways to explain thoughts better. You know that I'm grateful towards you for introducing me to whatever little sadhana that you've introduced me to. And the sadhana that I'm practicing is exactly what is available on your YouTube channel. In that one video, you've just mentioned a few things. You've in fact told me to do a step which I've not yet done because somewhere internally I don't feel ready for that step. Can I say it?
No, it's okay. We'll say it later.
Okay.
Not here.
Okay. The basically what I'm doing right now is I have a mala given to me by our common friend, dear friend Bhavesh Bhai, Bhavesh Yug.
Yes.
He got me a mala from Rishikesh.
Okay.
And I'm just doing an Om Bhairavaya Namah chanting on it.
Right.
My Anushtan with the deity is one mala a day. But I ensure it goes up to 5 because I don't know, my natural aggression has made its way to the sadhana probably. And on days I take it to 10. There are occasional days where I take it to like 20 sometimes. But 5 is usually what happens. So this practice that I'm doing, could it be argued that when a human is doing this kind of a practice, is it more powerful than just visiting a temple? Or equal? Or comparable?
So, it's about what is your aim. What is your aim? So, an upasaka's aim, sadhak's aim is to transform himself. Person who is going to the temple normally is not going to transform himself. He is going there to have darshan, pray, मुझे ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए, थोड़ा दर्शन करके आ गया, पानी चला के आ गया, सब ठीक है अपने जगह पे. Sadhana it changes the perspective. You are trying to change yourself and immediately the deity will also change the perspective towards you. I used to tell some people whom I guide, I used to tell them specifically to bring a reference to Ma Tara, for example. So we have Tarapit and we have many other places. So it is wonderful to visit Tarapit. Anybody can visit any time. Kabhi bhi chale jao, it's wonderful. You have a terrific darshan. Brilliant. Terrific. Now start the mantra sadhana Vugra Tara. Then you will understand that तुम्हारा कितना दम है पता चल जाएगा.
What happens?
Nothing. It is like putting a hand inside a tornado. It's to give a very brief idea.
Things happen in your life.
It will happen. Her Bhairava is Akshobhya. Akshobhya means steady. She's already telling you that you have to be steady. So she's not asking that you do the sadhana. If you want to do the sadhana, if you're inclined to do the sadhana, then you have to become that steadiness has to be there. And that's, I'm giving one example. Same would perhaps apply for Mahakal also. You sit and do Mahakal mantra japa and you go and you have a proper guru upadesh and all that and you have the right mala and all that and you go and sit for say 10 days. I'll sit in the Mahakal temple premises anywhere and I will start doing Mahakal mantra japa. Okay? When the mantra starts activating, it connects to your Chit Shakti, the deity will start manifesting somewhere. Then you will be tested. It's not that simple that it will just come with you because I have bhakti. No. Do you have the capacity for it? That is the thing. But the good thing about nature is that if you have patience, eventually one day you will succeed. It may take lifetimes, but success will come eventually.
We spoke about how the earthly playground is the fastest place for growth, potentially one of the fastest.
Yes.
Which is why lower beings are also born here.
Yes.
Are higher beings also born here?
Yes.
So we spoke about how lower beings could manifest as extremely evil historical figures who create mass destruction. Do they also pray to the deities?
They pray. Everybody prays to someone upstairs.
They have
according to their tendencies or something.
They pray to their own deity.
So what is a prayer exactly?
The thing you said about transformation.
No. So prayer is, you can pray to anything or anybody. I can pray to my boss in the office, I need a leave. That's a prayer. So you are looking up to something and you are asking for something. That is a prayer fundamentally. Okay. So that they do. That everybody prays to something. Whomever you are looking up to is kind of you are at that time, that is your boss or somebody who can grant your prayer. Whether it works or not is different matter, but that's the way. So yes, in that sense they do.
It brings me back to that previous point about, it's actually a Batman dialogue. It's not what you are underneath, it's your actions that define you. So if a lower being, if a very evil person also does the sadhana, there will be some benefits that they will gain from it.
No. So coming back to another point that I had mentioned, the idea of morality, good and bad, we have it. It doesn't work there, it doesn't work downstairs. नीचे का भी नहीं है, ऊपर में भी नहीं है उतना. So they can pray that I want more evil powers. There are a lot of gods who have nothing to do with the human realm at all. For them, it doesn't matter. You are just one more species in the zoo of species.
Some random ant.
And then there are so many cycles of creation that have happened. Absolutely insignificant.
We are just a small ant.
With small ant with a huge ego कि सब हमारे लिए बन गया है ऐसे types का. So for them, if those entities are praying ki, give me more of those powers. And we have evidence of this in the Shastras only. The Asuras used to, how did the Asuras become powerful? They would do terrific sadhana. The kind of sadhana they do, humans can't do this type of sadhana. And through that, they attain powers. Fantastic blessings and powers. So much power they attain that they can challenge the gods. They defeat the gods. They take over the Swarga or the divine planes. Until finally the main deities who are beyond the normal gods, realm of the normal gods, not Brahma, Vishnu or Shiva or Devi or something, or Skanda, Kartikeya, they finally, any of them gets involved in and then destroy the Asuras. But the slightly lesser deities, they can easily overcome. But how do they do? They do that because they are, they practice their sadhanas. So there are no, in these beings, even in the negative beings, there are no atheists, by the way. There are no atheists. Atheists are actually a very safe category.
Atheists are only
अपनी दुनिया में मस्त है, so long as they are not obstructing what I know people who are atheists. The common equation is that I will not discuss this with you, but B, you should not have any kind of obstruction to what I am doing, in the sense, so long as you follow a certain basic respect for the individual, and that individual respects whatever you do, whether you believe or not is irrelevant. And so long as my practice is not causing any direct or indirect physical or other harm to anybody, it's none of your business. It's very safe.
Fair. So you've answered one question in terms of those lower beings also definitely pray to the deities. The second question I have for you is on that playground. Not all higher beings are deities. There are higher beings that are lower than deities.
Yes.
They could be born in our realm.
Absolutely.
So how we spoke about the lower beings being born in our realm and then causing havoc and pain and suffering. When the higher beings are born in our realm, what do they cause?
Their innate capacity will manifest in something or the other in this realm. So there could be somebody who comes from the realm of, there are divine musicians called Gandharvas. If they get born, they'll still make fantastic music here. Terrific means beyond terrific. It's what we call genius level compositions or something like that. So genius is something that cannot be imitated. Gifted, talented means you practice and you have this much talent, you practice, you go up to this much talent. Gifted, theek hai. Genius is like a jump at a different scale.
Unachievable.
Unachievable. Either you are there or you're not there. It's as simple as that.
Lionel Messi.
In football, perhaps. In music, if you're talking, say Beethoven or something, I'm just giving a random example, or Mozart or this type of people. It's very likely that they are some of these beings who come down to the earth plane and get born here.
And often may not know that they are higher.
They will not know. So that is, the Maya is very strong. The Maya of the goddess is very strong. She will ensure that once you're born here, it's a filter on your head. You don't remember what you are from, where you are coming from.
But why is that soul born here in the first place? Again, for advancement.
There may be some desire. The whole world runs on desire. The mother of all desires is Kameshwari. Whole world runs on desire. Every moment there's a desire. There's a desire in the cells of your body. When you are, suppose, sitting down and suppose you are getting a tattoo done and you are feeling pain. So before your brain registers all, your cells are screaming out in desire that, no, I don't want this. Desire is ingrained into life. There's nothing, without desire, you are not even a stone. You're just out of the equation. That is why Kameshwari is the ultimate of all forms. She produces desires even in other beings, higher beings. She controls desires.
Perhaps that's why Bhairav's biggest blessing is detachment.
Yes, some amount of detachment from the lower kind of desires, so that you have the bandwidth to inculcate and contemplate on the higher type of desires.
Which is what?
I want to go spiritually higher. I want to experience the other realms. If your mind is always in the lower three chakras, it will not go up. So that is how these things work.
There are obviously also higher beings that are born here and know that they are higher beings.
Depends. In my view, 90% don't know, 95%.
Do we have it in India?
I'm sure there must be. I'm sure there must be across the world, not just India. I'm sure there must be there. I'm sure that, so basically what happens is their tendencies are that aligned to that particular domain of expertise they have. So they're so naturally tuned to that wherever they may be born, they'll still end up doing that activity only. And they'll do it to a tremendous degree of perfection that the world will say, "Wah, matlab kya kar gaya hai." So terrific.
And perhaps history will also remember them as a god.
They will remember them as a great individual in that field. So it's not the word God. So suppose a musician, great musician, terrific compositions and all that and whatever it is, and then he dies. For centuries and centuries, people are saying what a great musician. In his personal life and other things may be completely nonsense. So this is the thing. Just because somebody, in fact, more often than not, somebody of the higher beings, when they come here, they have adjustment issues. First thing. They're not accustomed to being with human beings. Na? So one of the typical things that you'll see that they're very bad behavior towards others.
Damn.
More or less. And they will be known by people around. So this is not always, but this is largely either rude or arrogant or somebody who has perhaps suffering from some kind of range of mental disorder or some behavioral issues or this, that, etc. Can't relate to people, or maybe completely a loner, or may end up having innumerable relationships or something like that. So, a person who is a complete loner, cut off, and who has innumerable relationships, both are somewhere internally there is a loneliness in both cases. They're both looking for something and not finding it. Okay, so these beings, if they're born suddenly, it's like that somebody who lives in a country and suddenly is transplanted into another country, there's an adjustment issue that can happen. I mean, let's go back to the era when there was no television. So you don't know what is America, kuch pata nahi hai. Suppose you go from here to there. It's natural that you will have some days of the way they dress, where they speak, where they eat, or things like that. You don't know anything. Zero knowledge suddenly. You may not like it also. And very often they do not even lead very happy lives. But the talent is so crazy level, so absolute level of talent. It's ingrained in them. They may or may not be happy, but they'll still produce absolute masterpieces.
Comment down below. Who are your picks of higher beings reborn in our earthly realm? Hey, if you enjoyed this clip from the Ranveer Show, we've uploaded a ton of other clips related to a ton of other topics. So explore the channel because there's something for everyone.